he was able to make the play.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second and 8 coming up. Here's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39. A good pickup there at 22.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now.
Ravens 21, Saints 3.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Saints take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They go play action now. Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now it's Jackson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21.
Tackle made at the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 7.
There's Kamara trying to run for it. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. That's taken on the 25. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Brings up 3rd and less than a yard.
Now Jackson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep, a Louisiana native, Jarvis Landry. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Saints take over first down 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Skirts by him at the 35. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's 2nd and 10.
At the 37-yard line.
They go play action. Winston. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Winston tries the left side and finds Olave. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's Winston. Can't get away, and he's taken down. David Ojabo running in to take him down.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
He was taken down by Kyle Fuller. A gain of 12 yards. Brings up 4th down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. White. Flip.
Now Winston on 4th down. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
That's Demario Davis navigating his way into the backfield for a tackle for loss.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Ravens first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And 12 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. 106 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. They set up the screen for Dobbins. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
They go play action with Jackson. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 70 yards. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 2.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Winston's throw taken in by Landry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball.
And now here is another interception. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd down.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, it's Jackson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
By David Ojabo, a 6th
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 114 yards on the ground here for Dobbins. And a 1st down coming up.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They'll go again with Dobbins. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 6-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. Give him 42 yards on the ground.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll run with Dobbins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
The play over before it really got started thanks to Pete Werner.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Brandon, if I wanted to run the football this close to the goal line, I think I just turn around and hand it to my tailback. Too many things could go wrong in this situation. I think they're fortunate just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson.
Forced out to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will extend their lead even further. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him. And then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Baltimore, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.